The year 2025 was a year of blunder and embarrassment for Meghan. Here's every moment she got dragged for doing something unnecessary, awkward, or straight up shameless. Just relax and watch how Meghan scaled through 2025. It was New Year's Day, and Meghan was trying to show excitement by posting an authentic moment. She went to the beach and wrote 2025 in the sand, appearing happy while doing it. But people quickly spotted her lies. She was caught with earlier takes of writing 2025 still visible in the sand off to the left. Because nothing says authenticity like filming the same shot over and over and then trying to package it like it's authentic. Actually, it was not surprising. It is exactly what we have come to expect from Meghan Markle. When she was called out for this stage act, she quickly turned off the comments. She clearly did not want to start the year with another call out, but unknown to her, more was coming all through the year. When she released the trailer, she was expecting a warm embrace from everyone, but what she got was hot disappointment. On YouTube, the number of dislikes was far more than the likes. Who would like content that was filmed in a borrowed house and even in borrowed clothes? Journalists had a field day as they called her wildly out of touch, a monument of ruthless control freakery, and many other words that could break someone's year into pieces. When disaster strikes, Meghan tells her camera crew to get ready because a headline is about to be created. Even actress Justine Bateman directly called Meghan and Harry ambulance chasers and disaster tourists for alerting the press to their brief. Even Fox News could not hold it anymore as they referred to her as Mother Meghan of Montecito. She is only seen when disaster strikes. People have announced that without disaster, there's no Meghan. During her Spotify days, Meghan Markle reportedly earned the nickname Eva, and no, it wasn't cute. According to royal reporter Neil Sean, frustrated staff on her failed podcast Archetypes used it as a warning sign. Eva came from the 1995 diva drama Queen Bee, starring the legendary Joan Crawford. The character was manipulative, bossy, and emotionally exhausting, which staff felt hit a little too close to home. Apparently, Eva meant Meghan was either arriving or already on the warpath, mood swings included. And the best part? Sources claim she had absolutely no idea, which honestly makes it even funnier. In 2025, Vanity Fair did not hold back as they released a tell-all that sent Meghan into hiding. They confirmed that the Netflix deal Meghan was celebrating like she had won the lottery was not $100 million as claimed. They revealed that Harry went broke to the point that he wanted to start a podcast on sociopaths. They also confirmed that Meghan is so difficult to work with that working with her would mean booking therapy twice a week. They further stated that Harry still lives with the illusion that his mother Diana was murdered when it was an accident that took her life. 2025 was the year of deals for Meghan, but all the deals she got crashed before they even started. One of the deals was a $20 million book deal with Penguin Random House. The deal quietly fell apart and never saw the light of day. She was called out for consistently crashing all her deals. Everyone was frustrated with their Netflix show to the point that John Mulaney had to call them out. He stated that Meghan Markle broke the record of Netflix giving more money to someone without a specific plan. The only plan Meghan had for her Netflix show was to set up the camera and start blabbing about being a chef while making every blunder possible. A friend of Prince Harry, comedian Jack Whitehall, did not hold back as he called out Meghan Markle for being in control of Harry's life. He confessed that once Harry started dating Meghan, Harry dumped his friends and followed the woman of his nightmare. He also revealed that Harry's inner circle of friends was phased out, and Meghan made everything about herself. The Telegraph was not taking it lightly as they called Meghan's Instagram PR stunt ridiculous. She made one of the most senseless posts in recent memory about getting a Billie Eilish shirt for a teenage girl who lost her home in the LA fires. This raised serious questions. Is a shirt going to give a child a new home to live in, or clothe the child for life. All she could do was solicit for Billie Eilish's shirt. It was widely described as ridiculous and performative. Since 2013, a photography company with the name As Ever has existed, but Meghan attempted to launch a brand with the same name. Before she could proceed fully, she was called out by the original company. They posted As Ever, established 2013, long before Meghan Markle's involvement. There was also an As Ever clothing brand in New York, and they were not impressed. Her logo was also called out as being a close copy of the coat of arms of the island of Majorca, to the point that one of the mayors stated she initially thought the news was fake. It became clear that Meghan steals ideas instead of creating original ones. Even Ranker had to step in with a call-out. They released a ranking of the celebrity couples we're sick of hearing about in 2024. And guess who was on top? It was Harry and Meghan sitting stubbornly at number 1 on the list. Their position was so stagnant that it felt like a birthright, and they showed no intention of leaving it for anyone else. Harry and Meghan tried to present themselves as close friends of Elton John, but Elton made it clear that while they may be friends with him, he is no friend of theirs. Although Elton attended their wedding, Harry and Meghan were not invited to Elton John's Oscar party. The exclusion reportedly cut deeply, especially for Meghan. Variety magazine delivered one of the most brutal reviews of With Love, Meghan. They described the show as an ego trip not worth taking. This was just one of many stinging reviews, with others calling the show cringe and admitting they had to watch it through their fingers. The Telegraph did not hold back when reviewing her failed podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder. They described it as an insane stream of mindless aphorisms. The podcast performed so poorly that it earned a 1-star review from The Times, with critics stating that Meghan is only where she is today because she married a prince. Several brands openly mocked Meghan and Harry on social media for calling themselves H&M. While they claimed it was simply the first letters of their names turned into a pet name, many found it ridiculous and unserious. They found themselves asking why 2 grown adults would refer to themselves by just the first letters of their names. Celebrity chef Jameson Stocks publicly criticized With Love, Meghan, calling it terrible and hard to watch. Reports surfaced that he was sent a legal letter from Netflix, but Netflix later denied sending it, stating that someone had faked the letter. Even so, the criticism stood, and Jameson had the last laugh. After their BBC interview, Meghan and Harry's popularity dropped sharply. Their approval ratings sank to an all-time low, with many Brits refusing to support people they believe scattered a family and spoken badly about the royal institution they cherish. Even Brooke Shields reflected on Meghan's behavior and recalled an instance where she had to interrupt her. She described Meghan as overly precious and overly serious, adding to the growing list of public criticisms.
This is one of the ways where we're different. When I was 11, I was playing a prostitute.
Your voice is not small. It just needs to be heard.
Yeah. This is where we're This is one of the ways where we're different. When I was 11, I was playing a prostitute. So
Okay, bro.
Okay. I wished
I
I'd
see
known
where
you
we're going here.
when I was 11.
A little different.
I would have been writing very different letters, but equally important, I hope.
Meghan launched her jam and attempted to sell it, but jam experts tasted it and called it a failure. They stated that the spread resembled what happens when jam goes wrong, further damaging her credibility. Metadata analysts revealed that Meghan's As Ever tea was sourced and repackaged from the Republic of Tea. Metadata on As Ever's website also read brand Republic of Tea on product pages for the teas and flower sprinkles. This discovery led many to conclude that the brand lacked originality and substance. For Meghan, milk seems to last longer than her employees. In yet another expose about staff turnover, It was revealed that employees do not stay long working with Harry and Meghan. Staff reportedly leave before the public even learns their names, largely due to Meghan's attitude and behavior. With Love, Meghan was a massive failure that left Netflix covering its face in embarrassment. The show failed to crack Netflix's top 300. On IMDb, it scored a 3.2, and on Rotten Tomatoes, it landed at 36%. Truly, it was a rotten show. Their Netflix contract, tied to a show that failed spectacularly, finally came to an end. The contract was not renewed. Who in their right mind would renew a deal tied to a failed show that brought losses instead of profit? Martha Stewart took a swipe at Meghan. She commented on how confused Meghan appeared and said she hoped Meghan knew what she was talking about. She then shrewdly emphasized the importance of authenticity, clearly implying that Meghan lacks it and that everything she does feels fake. Meghan's Netflix deal was officially downgraded. It appeared she had to beg for a continuation of the partnership. The plea may have been so desperate that Netflix had no choice but to offer something minimal. No lucrative payment was announced, and the absence was conspicuous compared to their first Netflix deal, which had been loudly publicized. Even one of Meghan's former fans became tired of her. Catherine Ryan, once a strong supporter, publicly called Meghan out for lying and for cozying up to celebrities. She admitted her eyes were now open, joking that when Meghan says good morning, you should check carefully because it might already be evening. According to Catherine, Meghan lies effortlessly. During her Bloomberg interview, Meghan seemed to forget how to communicate clearly. She relied heavily on phrases like anchored in your own knowing without offering meaningful substance. She claimed the royal family silenced her, yet when direct questions were asked, she dodged them. Bloomberg gave her a platform to speak freely, but this time, she chose silence. Meghan's obsession with royalty deepened when she doubled down on legally changing her name. During her failed cooking show, she told Mindy Kaling that she was now Sussex. So yes, she quit royal life, but clearly didn't quit the royal branding perks. During a photo shoot and interview, Meghan insisted on being announced as Duchess of Sussex, even though there were only 3 people in the room, including herself and the interviewer. She loves the title, but she does not want to do the work. If laziness were a person, it would be Meghan Markle. Meghan attended the Paris fashion show and was immediately called out for her dressing and her walk. She moved in exaggerated, slow motion, performing what many described as a Zoolander-style pap walk. She claimed closeness to the designer, which was later exposed as false. She was also caught giggling at a model who tripped. Meghan was called out for being disrespectful after posting an Instagram reel showing her feet raised while riding through the Paris tunnel where Princess Diana died. To gain publicity, she would do anything and everything, even if it meant insulting the memory of her late mother-in-law. Harry and Meghan attended a Los Angeles Dodgers game wearing full team gear. Meghan was reminded of past backlash when she was previously photographed wearing a Toronto Blue Jays hat while living in Toronto. She later updated her IMDb to list herself as a spectator, something no other celebrity attendee did. Once again, her need for attention stood out. They were called out for receiving a humanitarian award that many felt was questionable and undeserved. Critics asked how someone could receive a humanitarian award while consistently being accused of inhumane behavior. Meghan earned the title of Salmonella Sussex. She was criticized for a Thanksgiving turkey blunder when she failed to properly cover and store the turkey. She handled it with bare hands, drawing further backlash. A duchess who knows nothing about the kitchen, hosting a cooking show? If illusion had a face, it would be Meghan. Meghan faced massive criticism for refusing direct contact or assistance for her father, Thomas Markle, after he underwent an emergency leg amputation. After days of backlash, she reportedly reached out to the U.S. Embassy to hand-deliver a letter. There was no Zoom call, no visit, and no financial assistance for medical bills, not even as a PR gesture. Many concluded that if wickedness were a person, it would be Meghan. Financial forms revealed approximately $5 million in expenses, with less than $1 million given out. Shortly after, a press release announced that Archewell would shift to a new sponsorship model and include their children. Every move appeared driven by business. Newsweek did not stay silent. They referred to Meghan Markle as a lifestyle influencer who had gathered some of the worst reviews across the internet. Article after article pointed out how her projects kept missing the mark. Viewers complained about forced charm and zero authenticity. At this point, it felt like criticism followed her faster than success ever did. The word fired seems to be invented for Meghan. Meredith Maines became the Sussex's 11th publicist in 5 years and eventually quit due to Meghan's reputation. Even the executive director of Archewell followed her out. Page 6 labeled Archewell a brand in peril. They openly called out Prince Harry and Meghan Markle for managing to upset everyone at once. They walked away from the royal family, burned bridges there, and then tried to slide into Hollywood. But instead of becoming power celebrities, they became industry outsiders. Royal connections were gone, Hollywood patience wore thin, and sympathy completely dried up. In the end, they didn't belong to royalty anymore, and Hollywood clearly didn't want to claim them either. Even their parent network Page, launched in 2024 and heavily hyped, didn't survive. It faded away quietly without updates, announcements, or even an explanation. When it was first announced, they hyped it like the next big media empire. Big promises were made, expectations were sky high, and the branding was loud. But in reality, it barely made any noise at all. Instead of becoming the next big thing, it quietly became the next big failure. There you have it, the 2025 callouts of Meghan. Which callout did we miss? Let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.